What's up everyone, it's Tony here and welcome back to Yacht Addiction. Today, I'm in Annapolis, Maryland. I hope you're all having a fantastic summer. We're going to be touring this brand new 2023 Hylas M47. This Down East yacht is presented by David Walters Yachts. It's 47 feet in length, it has a beam of 13 feet and 6 inches, and it has a draft of 2 feet and 4 inches. Now this yacht has 2 outboard Cox diesel engines, and this is actually the first powerboat in the United States to offer those Cox engines as the standard power option. So we're going to check those out in a moment. But as you can see, this yacht has a beautiful profile, and I think it's going to be very competitive in this Down East style of yacht category. So inside this yacht, you'll find 2 cabins and 1 head. And as we make our way around, you'll see the 2 Cox outboard engines. These are 300 horsepower each. Your top speed on this one is around 31 knots. You have a cruising speed of about 17 knots, and you have really great range on this one. At that cruising speed, I'd estimate around 500 nautical miles with the standard fuel tank of 475 gallons. These diesel engines are very efficient. There's also an option for an extended range tank, which actually gives you 650 gallons of fuel. So at 9 knots, if you drop it down to displacement speeds, you're looking at almost 1,000 nautical miles. And with the extended range tanks, you're actually looking at 1,500 nautical miles. But even with the standard tank, at that cruising speed, 500 nautical miles, that's very impressive for a yacht of this size. You normally don't see that. So we're gonna come around, slip our shoes off, and make our way on board. And you'll see, we'll step into the cockpit. You have a settee on this side, and then an L-shaped seating area over here. This table can be dropped down, and then you can throw a cushion on top, so you can have a little sunbed out here if you want. There are also glass boarding gates that come across this area. So there's one on this side, and then 2 folded away over here. If you're looking for a boat you can fish off of, this one might be perfect for you. You have the rod holders. And another neat little touch, we have a sink back here with hot and cold water. You have the handle for it right here. So if you need to clean off a fresh catch, you can do so in this sink. Then you also have additional storage down in these areas. And you have the same thing on this side. And because this yacht has the outboard engines, you don't have an engine room. So underneath this hatch here, you have a lazarette area, and the storage area stretches the entire width of the beam. So let's give you a peek at that. So you can see they have some fenders stored down here. And then I'll give you a shot in one direction. And your storage options don't stop there, because you also have storage underneath the seats on each side. We also have a hot and cold shower built in right here. And then underneath this seat, this is where you have your propane tanks for the oven and stove on the inside. Before we head inside, overhead you also have this custom rod storage up here in the ceiling. I'm not going to open this up because we actually have the aft window open. So this really connects the galley aft area to this area. But when this window is open, you can't open this up. So you just have to believe me. And last thing before we head inside, you'll see you have this zipper right here. So you can zipper off this area to use it in different seasons. So that's always a nice touch as well. So I think we've seen everything in this cockpit. Now we can step inside. As mentioned, it's a galley aft layout. So you have this window that flips up here. And now we'll step into the main salon. So the first thing I'm noticing is you have really great windows wrapping around the entire main salon. So you have that beautiful unobstructed view. And then here is the galley. So you have your oven and stove right here. This is propane. You have your sink, 2 sinks actually, your microwave. You have all of your drawers right here. And then this is a top loading freezer. And that's a really good size as well for a yacht of this size. And then you have plenty of refrigeration on the opposite side, because over here we have 2 large drawer refrigerators. I like the little coffee bar they have set up. And then you also have this pull-out pantry. This is just a little touch, but another thing I noticed, the countertop actually has this ledge built in. So this is nice. If you spill something, the spill will be contained to the countertops. So I do like seeing little features like that. And then of course, looking forward, you have the rest of the main salon. So you have a settee over here. And of course, you're gonna have your storage underneath. And it looks like we have our electrical panel over here. We also have our dining area. So you have the seating that wraps around this beautiful table. And then once again, this table can be lowered and you can throw a cushion on top. So if you want to use this as an extra berth, you certainly could do so. And then adding to this natural light, you have 2 really large skylights. And one easy way to access the roof if you have anything stored up here, you can actually slide this open, take a step onto this double helm seat, and you can easily access anything you're storing up on the roof. I'm not going to open up every single thing, but I do like how they make really good use of this space. You have to have your priorities straight, of course. And one thing I wanted to say, this yacht is used as a demo boat for some boat shows. So they went with the carpet option on the flooring, but your standard option is teak, or you can choose whatever wood or wood veneer you'd like. But I did just want to mention, you don't have to have the carpet, you can have a wood option. And then here, of course, we have the helm station. You have your Ray Marine multifunction display. You have your throttle control over here. And it's not installed yet, but included in this yacht for the price, they are installing a Cox joystick for the outboard engines. So that will be installed before the sale happens. It's not installed currently, but like I said, it's going to be, and it is included, just so you know. And this particular model does not have a Seakeeper. However, I did want to point out, it's very easy to upgrade to a Seakeeper if you want to. This yacht, at its base price, comes with pre-wiring for a Seakeeper stabilization system. So it's very easy to upgrade after the fact, and I did just want to point that out. And then you don't have a full side access door. However, this is effectively a fully functional side access door. You have a large window right here, and this will slide across. So if you're shorthanded and you need to get to your cleat, or if you want to easily make your way up to the bow, you could do so out of this large window. So that's a nice little touch there. And then obviously they're up because we want as much lighting as we can get, but there are also blinds that come down if you need to close this area off. So that is the entirety of the main salon. So far, let me know what you think down in the comments. I, for one, am really liking this yacht so far, especially as you probably saw the price in the title. It's really well equipped for that price. I think it's very competitive because we've seen boat prices, they're getting higher and higher, but The base price, if you're ordering new, and this is with no options at all, is around 1.3 million, and that's at the time of filming. It's currently August of 2023, so obviously that might go up over time. And then this particular one with the options installed is listed at 1.5 million at the time of filming. Like I said, it all depends on the timing, but it's very competitive in this size category. So down here we have 2 cabins and the single head, like I mentioned before. And we'll just start with the owner's suite. You have the queen bed in the middle of the room. Got the storage underneath, of course. Additional storage over here. And then you have some windows on the sides as well as the hatch above. So you get that extra natural light, you get the ventilation, and you can escape out of there if needed. And then you have an additional closet on the far side of the room. And then over here, we have the guest cabin. You can sleep up to 3 in here because there is a small little Pullman bunk right here. And then you have 2 single beds. Also, there is a cushion that fills this space right here, so you can convert this to a queen and easily sleep 2 adults right here. You also have full standing headroom and another skylight. And then, of course, all of their drawers are right here. And then with the single head, of course, we're going to be sharing it. You'll find that right over here. Once again, this has a skylight. I like that every single room has one. And this has the full separate shower stall. So it's a pretty good size. It even has a little bench in there. So those are the 2 cabins. So we've seen the interior. We've talked about this really functional cockpit. We've talked about the outboards, but we still need to head up to the bow. So, like I mentioned before, it's very easy if you want to go through that window, but you can also walk around if you want. And you do have to be careful climbing up out of this cockpit. You can see the teak right here. So if we just take a step up onto the seat, there is a handrail up here, so you do feel a little more secure as you get up onto this side deck. And then we can walk up to the front. So up here, because it is a down east style of yacht, you have your pretty plain bow area, but of course there is an optional sun pad that you can throw right here. And then of course you have the 3 different skylights that we saw from the rooms down below. You have your windlass anchor system. And then let's take a look at the chain locker. You can see this is a huge storage area, so if you want to store fenders down here, you could do so. And then you have, of course, the anchor chain. And then one thing I wanted to mention, this is another area where you do have some options, and I think it's really cool that you have the options to do what you want. Of course, here are those 2 skylights in the main salon. But then back here, you have plenty of real estate up here on the roof. So you could do a couple things up here. If you wanted to, you could throw some generators on board, so you have to use less of your generator. Or you could just use this area for storage. You could easily fit paddle boards or any type of other water toy up here. So I do like how you have plenty of real estate to work with. Then I don't think I mentioned it before, but the generator is located in that lazarette area that we saw earlier in the cockpit. So obviously you're going to have your 2 engines here, and the generator is down below. All right, guys, I think we've seen every single area on this Hylas M47. Thank you to David Walters Yachts for granting me access on board to do the tour. This is the very first M47 model that's here in the States, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're gonna see many more of them. I think this is a great boat. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, and we will catch you next time.